Thank you for joining us today on the program Woman to Woman. I'm adorable Adesu Welsawage. Building the character of the girl child, a panacea to molestation, is what we're going to look at today. Do you even know how important it is to build the character of a girl child? How do we go about all of this? How do you even identify a child who needs to be exactly, who needs to be talked to, who needs to be mentored? These are many more we're going to be looking at today, and we have no other person to discuss this with but a mother, a wife, a sister, an educationist, and of course a mentor. Join me to make welcome Engineer Dr. Mrs. Quineth Adesuwa Kingsley Omoyibo. She's a senior lecturer at the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Grenadian University, Okada. Nice to have you join us today.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, building the character of the girl child is what we're going to be looking at today. And like we discussed before, you said it's a sure panacea to molestation from quite a number of group of persons, lecturers, rapists, predators, abusers, and all of that. So when we're talking about building the character of the girl child, what do we mean? What are we talking about?
Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome.
It's so good to be here again.
Thank you.
When you talk about the girl child is that person that is a female. The girl child is that person that has some physical features like the breast, the vagina, womb, which is the inner morphology, and can give birth. You know, that's the female gender.
Yeah.
And the female and the girl child will grow into a woman.
A woman, definitely.
And so you need to build a lot of character into that person who is the girl child, because they are considered as the weaker sex. They are considered as the one that supports the man, you know. And when they are growing up, they are very, very susceptible to attacks here and there. What I mean by that is that some of them could be raped along the line, some of them could be molested, some of them could be abused, even verbally they could be abused, they could be abused physically as well. And some of them could, as they are growing up, become very into themselves, get withdrawn, and it will affect their mental state. And so for us to avoid all of this, we need to build the character. And once the character is strong, the child will be able to face any of these negative connotations that I've just talked about. Now, firstly, building the character of the girl child will help the child to be emotionally strong, will help the child to be able to deal with problems. And if the child doesn't have a problem, the child will be able to deal with other people's problems positively. And then the child will become independent. When a child is independent, the child does not depend on other people. The child is able to build his or her own and be able to do things by herself. Because we're talking about the girl now. And then for you to have a very good character, there are some principles. One, you have to build what we call trust in the girl child. You have to make sure that the girl child is caring. You need to build all of this. And then you need to make sure that the girl child is responsible. The girl child has respect, very fair in her dealings. And lastly, she has to have what we call citizenship. Now, for you to build this character, you as the parent, male father, female mother, coming together as parents, should be able to help this girl, this little girl, coming up, able to build this character into her. Children, as girl children, as they're growing up, they will learn a lot from you as a parent by looking at what you do. And that's what we call action. So your actions will be building up, and then to forming their character. So mothers are in the forefront because they are normally the ones very closer to the girl child or to the children generally. And then fathers are always out. And even when they come in, they should also play those roles as well. And then to build the girl child, we have to be role models as parents. We have to be very loving parents, because it is what you give that you get. So if you show them love, they go out to be very confident. So if you want to show me a confident child, I will clearly tell you that is a child that is being loved at home. So a child that is giving so much love, we go out and be confident. A child that is properly parented, we go out and be patient. A child that is groomed with patience, we go out and be patient. I have a boy that is very patient because he learns patience from his father. So whatever you show to your children, they will become. So if you want to build their character, you first should build your character. Ask the parents so that they can also start learning from you and building theirs. And as they grow from 0 age to 16, 18, 19, they will build that character and they will never ever go away from it. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way you want that child to be, in the character you want in that child, so that when he grows up, he will not derail from that character you have molded into that child. And so the child, you should be kind as a parent, and your children will take kindness from you. They will be kind. If you're a parent that is not kind, you're not kind to your workers. Your workers come to the house to work, you send them out, pay them and tell them to get out. The children will behave like that. But if you're the parent that I cook for my workers most times, and my children are already imbibing it, my female children are imbibing it as well, even my male children. So whatever you do as a parent, your children will copy you. So if you want your girl child to be kind, mothers, please be kind. Don't be nasty. Don't treat people badly. Even while you are driving, you're insulting people. Your children are listening to you. And then if you want your girl child to build a very strong character, teach them self-control. Self-control is taking care of your own responsibility without nobody being there, without nobody watching you. How do you imbibe self-control into them? You as a mother, you must imbibe self-control in yourself, and then your daughter, a girl, a female child, will imbibe self-control as well. And then if you have compassion for people as a parent, male father, female mother, having compassion, your female children will learn it, imbibe it, and become compassionate. And when children are compassionate, they have confidence. When they are compassionate, they build the character to be able to hold their own. If you and you show them love. If you love yourself, you don't kill yourself. If you love yourself, you don't commit suicide. If you love yourself, you don't go into depression. Why do children go into depression? Lack of love, lack of care, lack of commitment to these children. No time, quality time is not given to them. If you give your children quality time, they will never be depressed. If you show your children the love that they ought to have, holistic. When I mean holistic, I mean holistic, spiritually, physically, and otherwise. Show them love. They will never ever say they want to commit suicide. Never. A child that will want to go into depression is a child that nobody gives attention to. So when you bully a child, cyber bully, verbal bully, physical bullying, the child will withdraw into his or her own cocoon. Why? Because nobody to talk to, because nobody to show love, nobody to be there to show compassion, and then the child, gets into depression. And then they easily become preys to predators. When somebody wants to prey on a child, a pedophile wants to rape a child between the age of 0 and 10. The pedophile, he himself will look at the child to see that the child is a good prey. When he sees that the child is with so much confidence, this one will expose me, the person will run away. But when he sees that the child is a child that does not have confidence, the child does not have those qualities I've been saying all this while, the person will prey on the child, and that child, don't be surprised, we keep quiet, we not speak. But a child with confidence will speak out, we shout and call people, and then the prey will run away. Please, let us love our children, not with mouth. Love your children holistically. Okay, and Doctor, you see the best out of them, and you build their character against predators and pedophiles.
Exactly what builds character? What are the things that builds character?
Good. Parenting. When we parent our children, we build character in them. Now, what are the character we build in them? Children, we parents are like video, like a theater to our children. So whatever they see, they want to copy it. So when you want to build character in your children, show to them what you want them to be. There are what we call developmental stages of character. In the school, their character is being built. In the community where they live, their character is being built. In the experiences they garner, their character is being built. What experiences do they garner? In the house, you treat them well, you show them love, you build confidence in them. They are fair, you are compassionate, they are copying it. You are patient, they are copying it. You are full of love, and you listen. A child that is being listened to, that child will be building a character of listening. And anybody that listens will be intelligent. Any child, a female child now, that's what we're talking about, will learn to listen very well and then build that character of knowing what to do at every point in time. And so when the child, when we want to develop character, we should tell the children to learn to forgive others. Because if you forgive others, you forgive yourself, you'll be able to love yourself. So when you don't forgive others, you don't forgive yourself, you don't love yourself, you are easily falling into prey. You see some children, they will go to the university, they will join cults. They go to university, they will join all sorts of things. When they will see people derailing, they will quickly derail. They will get distracted. I met a parent that said, my son is very intelligent but easily gets distracted. The first thing I expect that parent to do is to fight that distraction from that child. How do you make a child not to be distracted? Occupy that child with things that will make him not to be distracted. Yes. Look at what the child likes. Look at the passion of that child. Channel the child's passion towards the child's character towards that passion, and the child will not be distracted anymore. He will not be occupied. If the child likes fashion, why don't you tell the child, okay, learn fashion. By the time the child is sewing, will the child be distracted when there's a lot to sew? No. So if you want to build the character of your child, you need to allow your child to be with positive-minded people. Yes, because iron sharpens iron. If you move with negative people, you'll be negative. So if your children move with positive-minded people, they will be building positive character. Okay, I want to quickly say this, that we should learn to act with purpose. Any action that our children want to act, we the parents, if we act with purpose, our children will also act with purpose. Can I give an example of that? One, if a child comes from school, the child should know, action with purpose, the child should know that he needs to wash his or her uniform. Teach your children independence, because you will not be there forever. You won't be there. We're not saying we want to die. We're going to live long. I will get to 95. Amen. Yes. I can so come. You will see me 95 on this television. Don't worry. Now, what I mean is, if you teach the child how to act with purpose, the child will be independent. The child will come from school knowing very well that you are not to do everything for him. If you see a child that wants you to do everything for her, that child can easily be molested. Yes. Okay. I will give you examples. If that child is able to do things on his or her own, confidence is built. I can stand on my own. I can do things on my own. Mommy is not at home. I can just quickly fry indomie and eat for myself before mommy comes back. Or I can quickly wash my uniform, wash my stockings, clean up my room before mommy comes back. Such a child is building confidence. But the child that will lump everything aside and wait for mommy to come back from work by 5:30 to come and wash them, such a child, one, lacks confidence. Two, we easily fall prey. Yes, quote me. And that child can easily be molested. So teach your child self-independence. It is not punishment. It is not, you want to turn my child to a house girl. No. You are molesting. You are teaching that child independence. Because, God forbid you are ill, you are in the hospital. The child will quickly put things right. Let's not talk about negative things. Maybe you just want to rest. Mommy is coming from work by 6:30. You know, you're a newscaster, or you're doing something that makes you come home by 5:30, 6:30. Before you come from 2 o'clock, the children come till 6. A female child should be able to know that he will sweep the place, take care of the place, and make everywhere open. So that confidence is being built. Please let your children be independent. It is part of building character, and it will make them to be able to talk when they are being molested.
Now, let's look at the situation on the ground now. In most homes, father works, mother works, and the children are left in the care of maids or other relatives who may really not care about what the children are going through. Now, how does the parent get involved in all of that? You're not at home to care for your child. Your child goes to school. Some of us ship our children to the boarding houses. We don't know what's going on with the children there. How do you, as a parent, make that deliberate effort to get involved in the development
as a parent, making deliberate effort? One, you must have what's called family discussion. You leave home and come back 6. From 6 till 10 in the night, what are you doing? Have family discussion. Maids must have retired to wherever, maybe they are in the house with you, they retire to their rooms, or they go home after you come back. From then till midnight, what do? Have a family discussion with your children. Share your stories with your children. Share your experiences with your children. Children, today, On my way to Ring Road, this is what mommy, really, it builds love, it builds connection. Because when there is a disconnect, the children will become on their own, they will be secluded, there's what we call, they'll become a recluse, they'll be on their own, and they'll be looking at you from far. My father does not have my time, look at him. And children gossip, yes. They will go to somewhere, if there are many, if you have 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, even if it's just 2 you have, they gossip. They'll go to one corner, come. They'll call their sibling. See, do you see that daddy, see what daddy and mommy are, they will gossip you. So have time for them. We have WhatsApp now, children have phones. Okay, I don't encourage phones for children because it's a distraction, but if you have phones and your children are big, because some of us have big children, your children are 19, 20, 24, 25, they can control their phones, then you should have what we call family group chats, where if you can't say something, say it in the group chat, and mommy responds, daddy responds, the siblings also respond. I want to take passport, I'm at main gate. Everybody knows that such a family member is at main gate. So when there is a connection, there's confidence. When there is a disconnect, there is problem. Now, learn to have discussion with your children. Even when you have maids, educate your maids to be able to educate your children. Yes. Don't be stingy. Don't be selfish. What stops you from educating your maid? Make your maid go to a college of education. If you know your maid is going to stay from 0 age to 7 years and groom your child for 7 years, in that 7 years, pick 2 years out of it. Let this person have diploma in childhood education.
Okay, how do we deal with a child who is already suffering all of this neglect? Because whether we like it or not, there are some parents who will, no matter what you say, no matter what you do to them, they will never have time for their kids. And you discover that some kids just grow by themselves. Their parents don't know what they are going through. Either, like you said, they get influenced easily. Either they go to school, they get some kind of knowledge from school. Within their peer groups, of course, they will get some knowledge. What do we do to such children?
Now, if you are a child already, a female child between the age of 0 to 16, because you're still what we call minor, all right? So when you're 18 and above, you're an adult. Now, if you're such a child and then you're suffering neglect from mom, neglect from dad, you can actually gain their attention. Whenever they come home, go closer to them. Discuss issues with them. Whatever problem you have, talk to your parents. And parents, please, don't be too far away from your children. Give them quality time. Give them what we call praise. You know, when they do anything for you, praise them. You know, a child that is praised builds confidence. Anything they do for you, try to praise them. You know, try to be there. And if you are that child that everything we're saying now, you lack it by way of they are never there, then you have to build yourself. Yes, you have to build yourself. You have to now turn to God to help you. Read the Bible, make positive friends, make sure that you don't get derailed, because you can choose to be good, you can choose to be bad. So don't choose to be bad by following the bad ones to pay back for your parents not having time for you. Choose to be good. I have seen someone, I won't call names on air, that never grew up with her father and her mother. She eventually, even when she was growing up with her mother was always beating her up. I never saw anything good with her because she was raped by armed robbers and all of that. Fine. But she grew up to be a wonderful person, and today she's a nurse. How did she do it? She built her character. She built herself. She bought books that she was reading, because what you read and what you read builds you too. I read a lot of books. I come on air to talk to you. It doesn't just come from space. I read a lot of books. I meet people. I travel out a lot. I've been to like 9 countries outside Nigeria, and then abroad, like 11 countries outside abroad. I meet people, I interact, I build my character. I try to see the ones that are good, I improve on it, and the ones that are bad, I shed it off. So if you are the type that do not have parental grip, or you don't have parental care, please care for yourself. You can do it. Read good books, make good friends, be in the right environment. Immediately you are trying to see that there are predators around you, withdraw and try to seek for help from people you know that can help you. Some people can intentionally, I know some people that will just come to my office and say, "Ma, I just came to tell you some things." "Oh, really? Why didn't you tell your mom?" No, I can't. "Okay, my dad always does this, my mom always does that." And the first thing is, anybody that comes to you for advice, never castigate their parents.
Okay.
Tell them the good part of their parents, even when obviously it is bad. "Oh, your mom is nice, your dad is good. It's just that they don't have time. But I have this advice for you. Love yourself, go to church, join exciting programs in church that will take your mind off wrong things." There's singing, there's guitar, piano, there is choir, there is child session. You know, join things that will build your character by yourself. So that when you come out, this same parent that negated you will be thinking, "Ah, that's my son, that's my girl." And they were never there. they will now be regretting it, but you have built yourself. So do not pay back. I say, okay, they didn't take care of me, I want to be a prostitute. They didn't take care of me, I want to be an armed robber. They didn't take care of me. No. If nobody gave you care, care for yourself. And as a female child, our slogan is care. In fact, if I have my way, all female children should be nurses, because nurses are caregivers. No, really, we are born to be caregivers. And because we are born to be caregivers, we ought to always harness that caregiving characteristic in us. Because I always tell my female child, you are constructive, not destructive.
Yes.
Female children are constructive, never destructive. So when the plate scatters, it is not the female child that should scatter it. If the television gets broken, it is not the female child that should destroy it. If the whole place is dirty, it is not the female child that should encourage it. So female children should be very, as well as the male. I'm not discriminating, please. We are talking about the girl child, and that's what I'm focusing. Maybe next time they tell me to talk about the boy child, I have things to say. So please, the female children, build yourself. Never keep quiet. Open your mouth when things are going wrong. Don't be afraid. If you say it will kill you, nobody will kill you.
Okay, the problem that most female children do have, that I've noticed, is the issue of peer pressure. No matter what their parents do, no matter what their siblings do, some of them, most of them will still succumb to peer pressure.
All right. Now, peer pressure comes as a result of what we call contentment. If you grow up with contentment, you can never, ever, ever, read my lips, go into peer pressure. Now, a contented child will not go into peer pressure. Why? Because the child is taught to appreciate what he or she has. So we're talking about female children now. You are taught to appreciate your own properties and get it strong. Do not look at other people's things to be able to do your own. Because if you are contented, you will not fall into peer pressure. Not at all. You can't. And then there's something that we call clear communication. So when you do clear communication always for your children, they always try to note it all the time. And then that peer pressure, they can control it. They can be able to be accountable for their own character and then discipline their mind, because peer pressure has to do with discipline of the mind. If you have a disciplined mind, you cannot be cajoled to do things. You can't. And then, you know, sometimes there's something I really want to talk about: constructive peer relationship. When you are in any relationship with your friends, boys, girls, it must be constructive. Once it is destructive, pull out of it, and then you will not fall into peer pressure.
All right, Doctor, I wish we could go on and on and on, but like I usually say, time is not our friend. But thank you so much. I've learned a lot. Sitting here with you, I've taught me quite a number of things that I would take home. You know, and I want to believe that that woman out there, that parents out there also have learned something. If you do not get involved in your child's life, there's going to be a very big problem for you and for that child. We do not want that to happen. We want to have good children who will grow up into very wonderful women. If some women, let me speak pidgin at this point, if some women do some kind things for outside, you'll be wondering how they grew up. All right, thank you once again.
Thank you. And lastly, I would like to tell our children to do what we call self-control.
Self-control.
Always have self-control and you'll be wonderful.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you for being part of it. Bye-bye.